People go missing around here, they're gone for good. Outsiders come, they don't know where to walk. They bring trouble. They just won't be left alone, and so does he.
Hello and welcome to Too Old for This Shite. On this week's show we're going to be having a face-off of the remakes with Friday the 13th and A Nightmare on Elm Street, both of them from the mid-2010s, around 2010, 2009. So there you go, yeah. Which one is the best? Which one is the worst? Stay tuned. So, yeah, we watched both of these again. We both watched them when they came out, didn't they? Oh, yeah, and by the way, your hosts, Laura and Wayne, in case you didn't know.
Hello.
We watched these when they came out, and as far as I can remember, I wasn't a fan of either one of them.
No.
Were you?
I think I was probably more of a fan of the Jason one, because at the time we were big into Supernatural. So I kind of view that as like an extended episode of Supernatural because we had Sam.
Or Jared Padalecki,
as he probably prefers to be known.
Well, he prefers being called Sam. People say, "Hey Sam, you doink."
You doink.
Yeah.
So Jared Padalecki, who is Sam Winchester from Supernatural fame. So yeah, to me it actually reads like one big Supernatural episode where Sam basically goes off on his own little adventure. And he encounters Jason from Friday the 13th, and that's how I kind of...
That's actually quite a good way to look at it, because that's essentially what it is.
Yeah.
It's... Yeah, I think around the same time as well, Dean might have been in the remake of...
was it House of Wax or something
Bloody
like
Valentine.
That? Yeah, that was it.
That's what it was. I've never seen that at all. Apparently that's very good. And now I have to say...
We did see that.
We didn't. No, we never saw it. No, because I've never seen the original. I think we were like, oh, we'll look at the original, and then we'll look at the remake, and we never did. But I think it got... And like,
we're great for the old commitment and follow through.
We're really late to watch things a lot of the time. So it's rare nowadays that we still haven't looked at Superman, and it's like 2026 now.
Well, if we haven't watched My Bloody Valentine or the remake, like that was when?
Yeah, we have to catch up. We've like around 20 years of catching up to do.
Yeah, that's a bit...
Well, 40 years of catching up to do. But anyway, yeah, look, this is going to be not a new format for the show, because we've done this before
numerous times, yeah.
But we're just going to try something different with it.
We're going to try something exactly the same as what
something exactly the same, but something slightly different, but the same. So what we're going to do is we're going to discuss the two films. We have 5 categories that we're going to be rating the movies on, and at the end of it then we'll compare the scores, and whoever's got the best score is objectively the better movie.
Tell us the scores, George Dawes.
Yeah, no one's going to know what that is.
There'll be someone out there who go, oh, I used to love that show. One single solitary person, probably.
But look, so right, we're just going to get into it. So I think we'll start off with just a plot for the two of them before we get into things. So Friday the 13th, it basically follows nearly the same kind of plot as the other Friday the 13th. It starts off with the mother being killed by a counsellor, and she's obviously after being killed. So it's like Friday the 13th Part 1 actually happened, so it nearly seems to be in the continuity. So I think it's not even so much a remake as just maybe nearly a reboot. It could easily be put into any things, but it's Jason is alive. So it nearly feels to me like it could have fit in between Part 2 and 3 maybe, or 3 and 4. But either way, it seems faithful to those. So it's a bunch of people get killed at Camp Crystal Lake. Fucking another group of teenagers are going out partying in a house by there, and Sam is going off looking for his sister, who's one of the teenagers that went missing, and then much hilarity ensues. The Nightmare on Elm Street, it's slightly different. It's definitely a remake of A Nightmare on Elm Street. It's not like this could not fit in with the Robert Englund movies in any shape or form. They want to try and don't think they really know what they want to do with Freddy. Because you can't have someone who's not a Robert Englund, but they don't really seem to want to do anything that different from the character. And they have...
They kind of do, though. I think they want to try to make him actually more sinister and less campy.
He's definitely more sinister, but there's still a couple of quips in it and things. But basically it follows that there's a bunch of kids on Elm Street. Well, they'd never even say Elm Street in it, so I don't even know why they call it Nightmare on Elm Street. It's in Springwood, and they're having nightmares about Freddy, and some of them are getting killed. And it kind of follows the same beats as the first one. It's the same characters and the same things happen. So you have, like, I can't remember her name, the blonde girl, she gets killed in the bed. Then the boyfriend is there with her, he goes run, they think it's him, and he gets killed in a prison. But yeah, it's pretty much the same thing. I think the only difference really with it is that they have a little bit of a twist in it, what that you think might be a twist, where it's like, maybe Freddy didn't actually do anything to the kids. Maybe they blamed him in the wrong. And that's what he's coming back for vengeance on the kids for lying about him and making him, like, setting up the premise for him to get killed. And of course, then, like 5 minutes later, they're like, oh no, he was a horrible paedophile.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's the plot of the two of them. So getting in right with our first category is just the vibe. Yeah. Because we're young, yeah. We're still cool. We're still with it.
We're with it.
Yeah, the
we're
vibe.
down with the kids.
Yeah. So it's like, say, Nightmare on Elm Street. We'll talk about that first. I thought it looked okay until the CGI effects. Then it gets pretty crap.
Yeah, it's what kind of vibe is it given, do you reckon?
Shit vibe.
So it's giving shit.
Yeah, it's
okay.
Like this is the weird thing with, like, the mood and the tone. It seems to be trying to play itself serious. That there is a lot of stuff about, they never outright come out and say Freddy molested these kids, but like there's,
they kind of do.
But fairness. They never use the term. It's just like, oh, what he did to us. And they show, like, they don't show the pictures, but like, he was taking pictures of them.
Yeah, no, they
not that I wanted to show the
yeah, you don't. Yeah, but they more or less, it's pretty much almost without saying, yeah, he outright molested him. It's like they find a bunch of pictures of her in his, like, little molester dungeon of her as a child, and then he's like, oh yeah, look at you in your favourite sexy little dress.
The kids
you wanted it, didn't you? And it's kind of like, Jesus Christ, it's so pervy.
But the kids come home as well when they're having the flashbacks of, like, these knife scars down their backs and their clothes shredded, and it's like, he's not doing a very good job at trying to keep it a secret or kind of hide it, you know?
Yeah.
He's kind of like...
Especially because they show him using one of those little sort of gardener hand rakes as well the whole time.
That's the thing in this. It's I can't even remember what Freddy was in the first one. He was a janitor, wasn't he, in the school?
Yeah. And this one, he's like the school gardener who lives in the basement.
He's living in the basement, and he loves the kids. Oh, he's
and
great.
He's always playing, like, tag and hide and seek and talking to them about their paintings.
See, as well, it was kids. It was everything, I think, in the first one. They never really hung around on it too much in the first one. They kind of said, oh, he was like a killer of children. And then they were like, we want to market this creature, so let's not have him as a paedophile. Because people are okay with people killing kids. But
it's when you get a bit molesty.
Then they were like, oh, we can't sell merchandise of a paedophile. So, but it was okay to sell merchandise.
He can be a hilarious killer.
He can kill children. Yeah.
He can be a hilarious, quippy killer, but...
Everyone kills children. We can all identify with that.
Yeah.
But, in this one, they go for a darker vibe, but then the whole look of him is very different because he looks like a melted marshmallow. He looks like, remember in Alien 4, the marshmallow monster?
Oh, the white chocolate monster.
The white chocolate monster. That's what he kind of looks like.
Yeah,
and he tries to do Freddy's voice as well. So, get over here, bitch. But Scary Terry is actually a better thing of it.
Actually, yeah. But that's the thing. He doesn't have the razzmatazz, I suppose, that that England had.
And that's it. It feels off when he comes on.
He's very you see, this is the thing. He does it's what's his name? It's fucking
Jackie. See, the thing we have because there's a politician in Ireland called Jackie Healy Earl.
No, Jackie Healy Ray.
Healy Ray, yeah, and but this guy is Jackie Earl Haley. And my brain gets, I'm like, oh, it's
very
Jackie.
different people, very different people. But actually, do you know, I would love to see that. Jackie Healy Ray playing Freddy Krueger. Oh my gosh, that would be fucking hilarious. Because for those,
I come here, bitch.
Because for people who don't know, this chap he's a Kerry politician, and he's a very rural country.
Yeah, he was like, hey, we should be allowed to drink and drive.
Yes,
it's our right living in the country to drink and drive. Piece of shit, I suppose. Is another. I'd prefer to spend time with Freddy Krueger. Than him. But
anyway, getting back to away from that.
And I think that this was coming off the back of Watchmen, and like I know that like Watchmen, I think it was divisive. I liked it, but I think everyone could agree on it that Jackie Earl Haley was really good as Rorschach in it. So he was a well liked actor. So then with him doing this, I think people were like, oh, he's going to do a brilliant version of it. And then people saw it and were like, this is not good.
I think he went very serious, and I think he was trying to be very dark and very sinister, I think. But it went a little bit too sort of like...
I think regardless of what he could have done... He went a bit
boring with it. I think he was just like... Hey.
He should have went either over the top or else went really sinister.
Yeah, he just kind of went real... He was almost kind of like bored with what he was having to do. He's like, you've fallen asleep there, and
I'll get you.
I'm going to kill you now.
And like we'll get into the deaths and another thing, but like say on the vibes of it, it just feels off. It doesn't feel like a Nightmare on Elm Street thing. It doesn't feel right. There's a lot wrong, which we'll get into as we go on. There's a lot wrong with this. So I suppose going on to Friday, the vibes on Friday the 13th.
I thought that I actually really enjoyed it. I thought it was just it's a good rompy kind of a horror. As I said, because I was viewing it through the lens of like, you know, an extended supernatural episode, I actually really enjoyed it. I thought it was a good monster of the week kind of an episode.
It feels like a horror. It feels like what they're trying to do with it.
And it was a good 2010s kind of a horror because
it had like
it had the fucking
metal in it.
Well, it had the fucking the annoying fucking rich jerk who he owned the cabin, and they had this extended horrendous scene where himself and the girlfriend were like riding.
Like, you have
stupendous tits, babe. Yeah, they're so awesome, dude. Oh yeah, look at your tits, they're so cool. And it went on for like 10 minutes. It was just like scene after scene of like tits bouncing.
I think they understood what Friday the 13th was.
It's
and
just
they
like
made
teenagers having sex.
A good Friday the 13th movie. Probably actually one of the better Friday the 13th movies now looking back on it. At the time, I didn't like it. I don't know why. I just found it really boring. But looking at it this time, I thought it was really exciting.
Was it the awesome tits?
Yes, totally. But there was a lot going on with it. It looked great. It looked really good. It had that like... I suppose it's a Texas Chainsaw Massacre. It was that Michael Bay thing when they were doing with the remakes and the Hills of Eyes.
Sheen.
Yeah, it had that look to it. Friday the 13th, or no, not Friday, Nightmare on Elm Street didn't really have that. It didn't really have a distinctive look, I thought. Yeah. CGI was fucking awful on it. The effect...
That's actually, that was something you commented on when we were watching Friday the 13th. They were doing the scene where Freddy like comes through the wall, you know, sort of stretched through the wall, and it's like he even commented.
It's a classic moment,
Yeah, and it was like they did it with CGI, and it's like they did it with the frighteners.
It's just awful. It just looks like really bad. They did it with a sheet originally and looked better.
Yeah.
But we'll get into that kind of later on as well. But Friday the 13th, it feels like Friday the 13th film. It's atmospheric. You get to see Jason a lot in it as well, which you should do in a Friday the 13th movie. Nightmare on Elm Street, you don't really get to see Freddy that much at all.
And we get into it a lot, but the look of him changes quite a lot.
Who, Freddy or
Freddy?
Jason? Yeah. But like with Jason, he... it pays homage to the original movies as well.
And they show how he becomes Jason with the hockey mask.
Yeah, where he gets the hockey mask. And that's, like, it took until, like, I think it was the third movie for him to get the hockey mask. And then the very minute he got the hockey mask, all of a sudden, fucking, he became iconic, you know? And it's like, I just really, really liked it. Like, the vibe, it was good. The atmosphere is good to this to Friday the 13th. Yeah, I think
And it was good. It was like a proper like sort of young adult, sort of late teens go partying in the woods and like get fucking murdered. Like
it had
the proper.
It was like you had stupidity and all the different. It was all those things, but it nearly felt slightly more. Not even elevated is probably the wrong word, but like that there was more money put into it. You could feel that there was more money. The acting was slightly better in it.
Yeah,
it looked good. Like it looked like a good movie, especially now that we've seen so much shit over the last 10, 15 years.
Yeah.
At the time, this was kind of bad, but now compared to some of the stuff that's coming out, it's like, wow, this is shot really, really, really well. Like, not that it's not without its problems, but like I think it's good. It's a feel-good movie.
I think it hit the vibes it was going for.
Yeah. So we'll go 5 out of 5 each. So out of 5, what would you give this on the vibe?
I give
for Friday the
13th. I will give 4, and for
hold on, because
sorry.
Yeah. So Friday the 13th. Yeah, I'll give it 3. So that's 7 for Friday the 13th. Nightmare on Elm Street. What would you give that? 2. Yeah, I think I'd give it 1. So that's 3 for Nightmare. So yes, on to our next category, which is the kills, the gore, and the chaos. And yeah, so I suppose we go back to Nightmare on Elm Street. I think the kills in it were actually okay.
There were some pretty gory kills.
Yeah, but there wasn't a lot of them. Like there was one at the start, which was the guy stabbing himself in the neck. And there was a bit of blood in that. Then the girl getting killed. But you compare... See, this is my big problem with it was... You compare it to A Nightmare on Elm Street, the original. And the original was made on probably a fucking quarter of the budget of this. Probably a lot less than even a quarter. And it looked an awful lot better. It was a lot more gory. The deaths were more imaginative. It was actually a little bit
terrifying, yeah.
Yeah, whereas
they kind of stuck with you.
Yeah, they had everything going for this. And it's just, like, the deaths were, like, because of the CGI in it with the blood, it looked kind of shit. So they had that, your woman getting killed in the bed, which in the original... And they
went outlandish as well. Like, they spun her all around the ceiling and slapped her off every wall in the room and then, like, and tore her open in the bed.
Freddy kind of cut her open and she fell on the bed. But there wasn't... In the original, she just kind of got spun around a little bit on the ceiling, dropped down, and there was blood fucking everywhere. And you kind of went, what? It felt like a dream. Like, that was, I think, the whole thing about Nightmare on Elm Street with Wes Craven directing. He had that dream-like quality to it. This is just like, oh, it's a CGI death. Then your man getting killed in prison. It was Freddy put his hand through his chest. You didn't see anything. What were the other? I think that was really the only deaths. Because saying the kids that were like Nancy and the other fella are still, and they're like, they go off like discovering that Freddy molested them. So a lot of the movie, it's like,
it's kind of
an investigation thing, and it's like, you know, and then even Freddy's own death, where he gets like set on fire, that was awful. That should have been, they should have had him like riding in pain and
he just kind of like ran out of the building and stuff.
Yeah.
Well, the mother's death, actually, I suppose, where she got pulled into the mirror was kind of
that was
hilarious.
At the very end.
Yeah.
Oh, that was so bad.
Yeah.
That was like really bad. And that was just like, oh, it's just like, I mean, I like cheesy deaths, but fucking, this was just, there was hardly any in him. The gore, because of the CGI, was fucking abysmal. For a movie that had so much money put into it. And for a Nightmare on Elm Street movie, like, I mean, the whole thing that defines Nightmare on Elm Street is the creative deaths that Freddy does. And
that's the thing as well. Like I mean, there was a couple of times where, like, people got, like, stabbed by sort of Freddy's, like, you know, slashy, fingery, stabby glove thing. Yeah. And it was like, these people should be a lot more gravely injured than they are, and
sure.
You know,
it's their whole twist on it in this one was that it was like, oh, you can stay awake for 3 days, but then at the end of 3 days you'll go into a coma,
from which you will never awake.
And it's like, well, I don't know how, like, I mean, all right, you're trying to give maybe a Race Against Time vibe to it, but it's like, this isn't a film for that. This is a film where it should be about Freddy doing mad shit. It should be over the top. It should be ultra violent, and it should be scary. And it's none of those things at all. Like, I mean, if there was like interesting deaths in it and a lot of blood, it could have went, yeah, this is all, you know, the fucking the script and everything else is fucking abysmal in it.
Yeah, even when fucking Freddy's arm got cut off, it's just like, oh well.
Yeah, he's like, oh, and
he's like, oh no, my hand.
What? How did they kill him? They cut his head off. Thing, is it? Yeah, with a fucking guillotine. That's it. They cut his head off. And it's just like bleh.
Yeah.
This like could be any horror movie. It's fucking. It was just terrible. It's
very,
not a good.
It seemed very low stakes. There's no high stakes.
There's no chaos in it either. You know, you want some like. Some fucking horror movies that we just go like The Evil Dead. It's just all that, and still even like 40 to 50 years later, it's still just
there's
mental.
some surprising scenes where you're kind of like, whoa, wasn't expecting that. Like,
but this, it's just like everything that you. It's just boring. It's just fucking boring movie. Now, Friday the 13th, it starts off with about 4 or 5 deaths in the space of about first 10 minutes, and they're brutal.
Yeah.
The guy who plays Jason in it, I think he's probably one of the better Jasons. I know people were like, no, you have to have this person out. There was a real physicality to him when he was attacking people where you kind of go, fuck, if he hits you, you're dead.
Yeah, just one wallop and that'll take the head off you.
Like when it goes to the the credit scene at the start where it's like he's after killing it and then there's someone on the ground going, ah! And he runs at him with the machete, and it's the way it's like there's real force. It's not like just walking up and going, plod. It's like, fucking, if he hits you with it, he's going to cut you in half. Like there's power behind him.
But there were some hilarious ones, like, you know, your one sort of it was perfect. It was all these boobs out kind of scene where they had, you know, your one was out like sort of water skiing.
Yeah,
my God,
skiing,
I couldn't think of the name. Jesus, Laura, my God.
And then fucking that's
what I mean. Her death, like, but basically she got tumbled off the thing, you know, and obviously the boyfriend in the boat got killed by
an arrow in the head.
Yeah, through the eyeball. But she was like terrified in the water, and she was like trying to hide under the jetty, and she's like, oh no, whimpering, like, you know, and Jason was kind of standing over, and she thought she was safe. Next to it, of course, like the machete just comes down through the jetty and straight into the head, and he just lifts her up and donks the head off the bottom of the jetty, and it's just stupid little things like that.
The deaths in it, they are over the top, but as well they show how fucking you can learn a lot about Jason from it. Like this Jason seems to be smarter. He's like quite obviously someone who's lived in the wild for a long time. He uses a more diverse range of weapons instead of just a machete, and he seems to be hunting people. Yeah. You know, so you kind of get the vibe that he's smarter, more
he's
dangerous.
Fairly fast as well. He's not just like this sort of...
he's not slowly walking through the
he's not plodding along through and just like kind of almost zombie-like. You know, he's quick and he's nimble and he's, you know, fucking terrifying.
And there's a lot of the deaths in it as well. They kind of happen quick, but they're not quick. It's like they're kind of realistic. And as well, I don't know, I felt sorry for the kids in it. Like, I mean, even though some of the kids are fucking giant assholes in it, at the same point, you kind of go, they don't deserve this. Whereas in the other Friday the 13th, you're nearly cheering. It's like, oh, he fucking cut someone open with this and that. In this, you're kind of like, oh, fuck it. Like, the guy that goes, you know the way there's the two stoners? And the Asian guy goes out into the shed to get something because he's after fucking damaging the table of your man who's a rich guy, who's kind of like Patrick Bateman.
Yeah.
And he's just
that kind of an
horrible.
Aura,
yeah. And when he goes out, and you kind of go, oh, Jason. In the other films, Jason wouldn't have killed him. He would have got away, or he would have had if he fucking gets a horrible death, like in it. He gets like he gets fucking thrown around first, and then does he get his head twisted off, and then does he just stick something and stab him with something? It's not like a nice... It is fucking gory and kind of prolonged.
Which of them was ended up being like bait out in the garden trying to tempt him all
that
out?
Was the black guy, the black stoner.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, he went out looking for him, kind of thing. Yeah, wasn't it? Yeah.
And then you see him later on no, they were like, oh, he's using him as bait. He wasn't. He was just like fucking killing him. He's just torturing him. And then when he gets it, it's just... There's a lot of gore in it. It didn't feel... Some of it's CGI, but it didn't feel like CGI. It wasn't as obvious as Friday or Nightmare on Elm Street, I thought. So, yeah, I think kind of, yeah.
Clearly, obviously, there's no shadow of a doubt it wins out there.
Yeah, I'd say give it a score, though. Friday. 5. Yeah, I give it 4. And then a Nightmare on Elm Street.
I'll be generous and give it 3.
3? I'm giving it 0.
Are you?
Yeah, I thought it was just awful. Like, just there is no excuse for it. There is, like, we've seen films made on like a couple of $1,000 that had more gore in it.
Yeah,
and
you're
more
after
flicks,
swinging
like,
me. Yeah, okay, right. Knock it down to a 1 for me.
yeah,
So.
so one, like, you know, there's...
Because, yeah, I suppose, like, I'm kind of going, yeah, okay, there's a few bits where there's a bit of, you know, ouchy.
But it's awful. Like, I mean, like, we're going to get into that. Next one is the iconic moments. So, going to A Nightmare on Elm Street, there's anything that's in it that, say, when we're talking about iconic moments, it's just that they try and emulate, like, the classic scenes from the first one. And they fail miserably on, like what we were saying about, like, where Freddy was coming out through the wall in the first one, where it's like a fucking rubber sheet. And it looked really kind of scary.
And spooky
and this,
and creepy.
Just awful. The other one that sticks in my mind is when Nancy's in the bat. It's that, I think they use it as a poster cover or something. They definitely use it in the trailer.
The claw coming up through the water between her legs.
Yeah, nearly like Jaws kind of a thing. In this, it just feels really stilted. I don't know, it's just like there's no danger.
As well, because I don't know what way she was sitting in the bath. I was actually just thinking there going, that looks really uncomfortable. No one would ever sit in a bath like that.
Yeah.
You know?
It's just, I don't know. Yeah, I think that's one of the things as well about, like you were saying, that everything, even though, like, Freddy's always making sexual innuendos and stuff in the original ones.
Innuendo.
It never kind of feels sexual. I don't know, there seems to be this kind of line between seedy and, say, stuff that you can kind of go, oh, it's a bit uncomfortable, it's not.
Yeah.
You know, where you kind of give Freddy a bit of a pass, where you kind of go, it's a movie. Whereas this, it just felt, it's like, you're kind of gone into ick territory.
Yeah, fully. I think it's, but it's not even, that's the thing. It's not even ick enough to be like uncomfortable. Like, it's just like, I don't know. It's just, I think it was trying to make people feel uncomfortable. It was just like, oh, give it a rest.
Yeah.
You know, you're not even doing your job properly, kind of a thing.
And like
making you feel uncomfortable.
The only thing that I can really remember from this film, say, other than those bad things, is like how terrible the dialogue was. Like when I was looking at it, I was like, this is actually so bad, it's good.
Yeah.
Thing. And now that I'm like, I don't want to look at it again. Like there's a couple of funny lines in it, unintentionally, like at the start when your man kills himself in the diner. And he starts screaming, kind of like, you're not real, you're not real. And at the funeral, his girlfriend or friend is like going, oh, you know, he said to me, you're not real, you're not real. I wonder what it could mean. And the other guy goes, it don't matter. And they're like, okay. And there was a few bits and pieces like that where it's just like, this is fucking... When he goes into the chemist... And he's like, I need to refill my prescription. The chemist's like, no, not going to happen. Then your woman Nancy comes in and she goes into a sleep state and gets attacked by Freddy and gets cut open in the middle of
it. Screaming and roaring and flailing all over the place and spontaneously gets cut open and starts bleeding. And like the chemist is just like,
whatever. But there's no, I don't know, it just didn't
There's
feel...
no rhyme or reason to a lot of it,
Like, there's no iconic moments in it. And you don't even have to have, like, say, iconic moments, but you need to have memorable moments in a fucking film that are good memorable. Whereas this, there's just nothing. There's absolutely nothing in it at all. I can't think of anything. And, like, even though they had Rooney Mara playing Nancy in it, it's not, like, I mean, alright, you don't have to have the same character as Nancy out of the original, but if you're going to call it Nancy, or her Nancy, not it, and you're going to go for that, like, you're going to have to do something with her. Like, I mean, Nancy was just likeable in the original, like, and probably has a lot to do with the actress as well. And, like, Rooney Mara's, like, after getting nominated for Oscar, she's a great, so she's quite obviously capable, but I don't think there's enough meat on the bones with any of the characters in this. It's just...
And that's the thing, and they all just seem very mopey as well, all the characters. They had no spark or no get up and go or no nothing, and they all just seem to just mope around a little bit.
Just
all
dull.
Just moo.
It doesn't feel like there was any passion in the film at all. Like from the direction to everything, it's just like, there you go, that's it. Like, we're throwing that bit in because we have to put that bit in, we have to put that bit in and this bit in, and as a result, it's just like flat. It's just... Yeah,
and as I said, like, I mean, never mind iconic moments or anything like that, there isn't even one... There's normally in a film you could pause a film in a load of different places and go, there you go, take a still of that, and that would be fairly cool to put up in a poster on your wall or something like that, you know. There's nothing in this.
I think the only stuff that came out of this is the meme and, like, the way that Freddy looked, because, like, even the thing, probably what should have been the most iconic thing in it is the look of Freddy. and even when he's dying, remember, because they were like, oh shit, we forgot to have him in his fucking jumper. So when he's being set on fire and dying in the thing, he takes his jacket off to reveal his stripy jumper, and it's just like,
why would you, in the middle of being set alight, would you go, hang on, I'm a bit hot, I'll take off my denim jacket. Yeah.
But it's just, he doesn't look like Freddy Krueger. He doesn't, the fucking clothes hardly ever showed. The glove is hardly ever showed.
That's it. I mean, all you have to do is just do the sort of the typical shadow, just like snick and like do a fucking, here's me claw, like, you know, do a Wolverine, like, you know, and have this.
I have the same too when we were watching it at the time. One of the big parts of the original was that they say something like, oh God, oh God, oh God, and Freddy goes, I think it's one of the first, not big reveals, but like him showing like that he loves his glove, but it's where he's like, this is God, and he shows the glove, and it's like a big focus on it. And then in this, it's like they were like, oh God, and he's like, I'm God now, and it's just like, oh God, like that's.
But they didn't even really have the, you know, the 1, 2, Freddy's.
There's bits of it.
They only had a tiny snippet of it, like, but there was no big deal made out of it like that.
It was just but yeah, we'll move on to Friday the 13th, iconic moments. Funnily enough, they don't emulate anything from the other films, because like there's no kind of like, oh, that happened in that one, shots of it. But there's loads of iconic moments. Like I was saying, that shot of Jason coming at the camera with the machete just when it goes to Friday the 13th, I think that will stay with me. That was fucking brilliant. There was like the look of Jason. Yeah. Was great.
Just when he found the hockey mask, when he popped it on first, even as well, you know, just stupid things like that. A load of the death scenes, like the, you know, sort of that shot of the blonde underneath the jetty, like, you know, that was just that one shot where she gets her head bumped against the bottom of the jetty with the machete in her head, with her eyes like rolled back in her head. There you go. There's a poster.
Crystal Lake as well. Yeah, I like the whole abandoned vibe to it, where it's like, oh, because a lot of times when they did it in the other films, it'd be like they get there and it was like properly fully functional thing, whereas in this it was just a fucking, it was abandoned for years and years and years. It was rotten, apart from his bed where he kept his teddy bear, where, you know, and then that he was living under the ground as well, and the whole look of it nearly, the film changed, I think, between the top of the ground and then going out of the swamp, say, or the forest, into where like people were living. It was like, instead of like making it look like totally hillbilly airs, which they normally did in Friday the 13th, it was, you had these hillbillies that were there and they were just like, we just want to fucking keep to ourselves, and they see Jason as like a force of nature that they're avoiding, where it's just like nowhere to walk. If you walk fucking off the path, you're fucked. But like that doesn't stop like, you know, Jason isn't like, oh, that's your man from down the road, I won't kill him. He's just like, there, that bit where at the truck when your man, the asshole jock, falls out and he's like, oh, help me, and your man has stopped to let him get in. But it kind of plays with like the remake of Texas Chainsaw Massacre, where it's your man is just waving, you just see a shadowy figure sitting in the thing, you think, oh fuck, is that like someone that's going to be connected with Jason?
Yeah, exactly. It's going to end up killing him as well, anyway.
So he's like really cautious walking up, so he doesn't get up, and then Jason comes along and just fucking kills him and spears him on the back of the truck. And you see it's just this old man sitting in the thing that's like on an oxygen machine, kind of going, oh please hurry up. But yeah, I thought it was, and even the end, I didn't like the very end, because they killed Jason and then they, for some reason, instead of going to the police, they decided to dump his body in there.
Let's fuck everything back in the lake.
Like, and then he springs up out of the water. So it's like, immediately, it's like, right, they had it done, they had the film that they wanted to make, studios went, fucking have him coming back. Just go back and like put it in at the end, and they were like, oh fucking if we have to. Which that kind of ruined it a little bit. But I suppose at the same point, it's true to the Friday the 13th things, because they did it at the end of fucking nearly every Friday the 13th.
Yeah, you always have to have like the corpse lunging back out, you know, the hand coming up out of the grave or out of the water, you know, there's always the return and the...
And you know, I thought the fight between Sam and Jason at the end was quite good as well, because Jason was killing her, and like, I mean, it's not like it was like Sam Winchester fighting him.
No, it was just some goofy teenager.
But still, it was like, this is a fucking 6.5 foot guy fighting another 6.5 foot guy. But the fucking Jason is just better built, and he's like built,
monster,
you know.
yeah.
So it's like he's not a walkover. It's like he's still running away from him, but he's still, you know.
Yeah.
Whereas I thought that was good, and that they didn't have, because there was I think it was a Netflix, one of the Netflix Texas Chainsaw Massacres that did, which was awful as well. But there was one scene in it where like a guy fights back against, because your man is like a bit of a fucking jock.
Yeah.
And you kind of go, of course he's going to. He's not going to go, oh no, a man in a mask.
Yeah.
Where he like goes up and he's like fucking punching Leatherface in the head. And there's like a bit of back and forth between it, but like of course he gets cut in half anyway, because you're not going to win against a chainsaw.
No.
But, you know, so I like when they have that bit of
exactly.
stuff in it, because, like, not everyone
Bit
should
of
be like...
razzmatazz again, yeah.
But, yeah, so, kind of, for iconic moments...
Yeah, I think there was a lot on Friday the 13th, in fairness.
Yeah.
There was a lot of, as I said, I'm kind of thinking of the film stills, you know, sort of the poster on the wall. There was a lot of them in Friday the 13th. So yeah, so I'll give that a 5 out of 5.
5. I think I'll give it a 4, because definitely for, like, that shot of Jason running at the camera, I think is brilliant. I think that is...
Well, I'm giving a 5 out of 5 for the stellar tits moment.
Yeah, actually, yeah, that is an iconic, because even I went on it because I'm starting to use Letterboxd just for keeping track of films that we're watching. And I went on that, and like the first comments were all like, "Oh, you got spectacular," you know. All
Yeah.
So yeah, that's after going down history.
Yeah.
Nightmare on Elm Street, I'd give it 1 for an attempt.
Yeah, same here actually. Yeah.
So that gets 2. So we're on to like our second to last category, which is commitment to the bit. Like how hard does it lean into itself? You know, kind of like, I think Friday the 13th, we start off with that this summer. That's fully aware what it is. It's a Friday the 13th movie. It doesn't try and elevate itself or kind of lower itself too much. It does slightly try to elevate it in an appropriate manner. It's not like an A24 fucking movie.
I thought it was having fun. Do you know what I mean? It was enjoying what it was doing. It was self-aware that it was like, look, it's Friday the 13th. They're going to try and make a good film.
Yeah.
With sort of, and they had all the tropes of like sort of, you know, they had the jock and they had the guy out looking for his sister, and they had, you know, they had the sensitive girl out of the bunch that was like, oh, come on guys, don't be so terrible. And then they had, for want of a better word, like the sort of the raunchy, I don't want to say slag, but do you know what I mean? The one that's like, oh, let's go ride, everybody. They had, you know, sort of token black
they had a couple of those.
You know, they had the stoner dude. They had every trope that you usually have.
They just leaned fully into it. They went for it, where they were like, look, this is what we're fucking doing. We're not going to try and make like a Scream out of it, where there's going to be some fucking thing behind it, you know, or it's kind of like there's going to be some twist at the end of it. As well, let's not forget, like, the, say, official Friday, say, not counting Freddy versus Jason. The last one was Jason X, which was fucking Jason in space. Yeah. So, like,
this
to say
is bringing
that,
it back to its,
yeah. Like, fucking Friday the 13th jumped the shark. Fucking lot. Probably part 7. Where it was like, I can't do the New Blood one, where it's like your woman had psychic powers. I think she might have been related.
You know me, they all just meld into each other.
But yeah, so I think it knows what it is, and it's a better film for it. Like, I think that's the thing with some film, once they know what they are, it kind of, now on the other hand, Nightmare on Elm Street does not lean into what it is. It thinks that it's smarter than what it actually is, and I think it's trying to be more grounded or something.
I think it was leaning into, let's go dark and gloomy, and I think it was almost, when did Twilight come out? You know, all that gloomy kind of like
it would have been a little
teenager.
bit before that, I suppose.
That sort of kind of reminded me of her. It's just a pile of teenagers moping and glooming around the place and being all like, oh.
Yeah, they're not likable teenagers. So like, there's not, like, I mean, you can always have like the arty teenager and stuff, or you can have a bunch of them, I don't care. But
like, I know what's happening is so traumatic, but they, rather than being like feisty and spunky and fighting against it, they just all seem so like,
yeah, the jock dude out of Friday the 13th is actually more likeable than I prefer to spend time with him, even though he was horrible.
Yeah,
than any of these.
Nightmare, I know, but they're just so gloomy and mopey and I don't know. It was just, it just seemed like, it seemed like, you know, the worst. I suppose the worst sort of slagging that Kirsten Stewart used to get over being like mopey and gloomy and all the rest. That's what everyone in the cast of.
It's like they were told, don't act.
Yeah.
Just fucking sit there and just go, oh, hey, do you think Freddy might get us? No, I don't know. But it's just, I don't understand. I don't know what they were trying to make with it. It does feel like they were like, oh, they're going to, but how can you go grounded with a fucking Nightmare on Elm Street?
Yeah.
It's a dream demon.
I was just going to say a dream demon that like has saucy quips and has a spiked baseball club and that claws you to death.
Bizarrely, the original one feels grounded in reality. That's like the genius of Wes Craven, where it was like, because it feels grounded in reality because the acting is good. All the kids are believable as kids. They're not even like stereotypes of kids. They're just like nice kids.
Yeah.
And it's like they're having really bad shit happen. So all of a sudden you're like, this shit is happening. You feel like it's happening in the real world. That's like the important kind of aspect of creating like a real world that you think exists. Whereas in this, it's just like, oh, it's a fucking movie, or it's a CW. High school.
That's exactly what it is. It's like a kind of a CW mopey teenager kind of drama or something.
And some of them I think weren't even meant to be in high school. And they were all meant to be in the same class, but and I don't know what the fuck was going on with some. Your woman from Arrow was in it. And she seemed that they were nearly setting her up to be the main character in it from the start, and then she gets killed about a half an hour into it. And then Nancy kind of takes over halfway through it, where it's like, if you want people to kind of be like
invested,
you need to have Nancy from the start, not just kind of in the background, and then it's like, oh, she's one of the only ones left. That's why we're following her.
Better listen to what she's on about. Yeah.
Whereas, like in the original, like Nancy was a survivor. That's why people were like, oh my god, she's she's a nice kid that ended up surviving this, but she was capable. Whereas in this, it's just like, there's no, like, why should they win other than like, oh, Freddy's the bad guy. Yeah. With it, you know? But, so I suppose for the score in this, for the commitment to it, I think people could probably guess. I think Friday the 13th, I'd give it a 5, yeah.
Yeah, it leaned into it fully, I think.
Nightmare on Elm Street.
Nightmare on Elm Street. Again, like, we didn't even talk about actual Freddy himself. Like, Freddy wasn't Freddy.
He wasn't. But
I don't think that's down to the actor either as well. I think that's down to the direction that
it's
was
what
given
they
as
wanted.
Well. Yeah.
It's just like, I mean, there are some films that you don't remake. I think A Nightmare on Elm Street is probably after proven to be one of those.
Yeah, and
Freddy
I think
is
sometimes
not Freddy without.
Freddy has to be Robert Englund.
It has to be. Robert Englund made that character. You could write Freddy's fucking all day, but it's Robert Englund created him. Well, not created, but he did. He shaped him. He
exactly. It wouldn't be him without him. Unless it's Scary Terry.
Yeah, but it's like, if someone turned around and said, oh, we're remaking Goodfellas, you'd be like, don't do that. And I think they should have that attitude as well with some horror movies. Films, instead of this attitude where they quite obviously have this where it's a cash grab, where they're like, oh, look, people go and see it because they're big fans of the franchise. Horror fans are like, they are fans. They will follow, even if they go, oh, I know it's going to be awful, but I like the franchise. We watched
it, like, you know?
Yeah. But that's because you thought, oh, well, like, what are they going to do with it? And then you go and you see it and you kind of go, they did nothing with it.
Yeah.
So, Nightmare, what would you give that?
I'm going to have to give it a 1 again.
Yeah, I give it a 1 as well, because I just don't think. So, the thing, we're at the last part, and that's the rewatchability.
Well, there's no even debate there. No. Nightmare on Elm Street, I'm going to give it a 1.
Yeah, I
just for charity's sake.
I would never look at A Nightmare on Elm Street again. So, I'd give it a 1 for charity. Friday the 13th.
I'm going to give that top marks because, again, because it is, for some reason, it's framed in my head as an episode of Supernatural, basically, because of Jared Padalecki in it, and because he is a likeable guy. He carries quite a lot of that on his shoulders, I think.
And he is, like what you said, he is just Sam in it.
Yeah. And that's the way I feel about Supernatural anyway. I'll watch that till the cows come home kind of thing. So like I'll give that 5 out of 5 basically for rewatchability.
I give it 4
just because it's a fun romp.
Yeah, I'd easily look at it again. It was really, really good.
Yeah. And
that's surprising because I thought, oh God, I'm going to fucking hate this.
We'll always go back and rewatch certain horror films, and this happens to be a sort of a nice little confluence of an episode of Supernatural and a horror icon.
Yeah.
So,
and like,
how bad?
I think
it's like Supernatural meets Freddy.
It says a lot
not
about
Freddy. Fucking hell, Jason.
Yeah, it says a lot about how both of them were received as well when they came out, that there still hasn't been a sequel or a remake nearly 15, 16 years later. Of either one of them.
Yeah.
I think the Friday the 13th one, I think, got caught up in legal shite because I think there was like loads of problems with the rights of that, and they were meant to be making it again, like restarting it again. But the great thing about that film as well, or the great thing about the Friday the 13th things, it's just locked into Jason and the area. Friday the 13th, there's a lot, or fucking Nightmare on Elm Street, sorry, there's a lot more to it than just Freddy. You know, there's a lot more backstory and all, so I think that's more difficult to do. So yeah, going to tot up the scores here. So we
see how good your maths is here.
37, 46 out of 50 for Friday the 13th.
Jeez, that did very well.
It did very well, yeah.
I think I might have been over generous with some of my scores
then
there.
For Nightmare on Elm Street, it's got 6, 7, 10.
Oh.
10 out of 50. So I think it's an overwhelming win.
Bit
for
of a
Friday the
landslide there, in
13th
fairness,
remake.
yeah.
It's quite obviously the superior movie out of both of them, and it's quite a good remake. It's a shame that they didn't do a sequel to it. I would have liked to see, even if it just started off with Jared Padalecki getting killed or something like. You know, you don't. This is the beauty about Friday the 13th. You don't have to follow anything. Yeah. It's always going to be another set of teens that are going to be getting murdered, getting into trouble with Jason. It's just that classic kind of humans against nature and a horrible
what I would
force.
actually like to see is I'd like to see a Supernatural series devoted to the two guys meeting horror icons and battling their way through it.
Well, didn't they kind of do that?
They did with the kind of the monster, kind of the hammer.
The Dracula
horror,
fella,
yeah, that's it. Yeah, the Dracula episode was fucking hilarious. Yeah. But I wish they do it like with sort of the modern horror icons as well. That would be brilliant.
You kind of forget how funny and good Supernatural was at times. But yeah, look, that's it for this week. So if you're going to look at either one of these movies, obviously go off and look at Friday the 13th. When I was looking at, like I was saying with a Nightmare on Elm Street, I was like thinking, oh, maybe it's so bad it's good. It's not. It's just bad. It's just really bad. So look, come back next week where we're going to have more films battling it out with each other to the death.
Celebrity deathmatch.
Yeah, whoever loses is forever consigned to the VHS bargain bin in the rental store of yesteryear. So yeah, look, until next week, take care. Bye.